Hello everyone, it's Haley Bear. I don't typically make videos like this, but I think it's about time you guys all know what has been going on the past week. The last 5 days have been very hard, and not even my immediate family kind of knows, but only a few people know. I've been talking to them and they've been helping me breathe and all sorts of stuff. And I'm gonna tell you all what has been going through my head and what has been happening the last week. Before I get into it, this video is gonna be mostly, for the most part, unedited. There's gonna be no thumbnail for this video. I just want to get real, and I just wanna speak to you all and open up. And I'm almost at 600 subscribers. I was at 600, but then someone decided to unsubscribe, which I'm completely I understand. Not many people want to but so the last 5 days I've been having panic attacks. I've had my very first one at like 5 p.m. my time on January 6th. The reason why is going to sound so stupid on paper, but hold on, I need to drink real quick. It's going to sound so stupid on paper, but I promise you that the reason is, for me at least, it's kind of dark, deep, not dark, it's deep. But on paper, it's going to feel like the stupidest thing ever. I think it's about time I fully open up to you about why certain things are so important to me. I'm kind of just recovering from one I just had a couple minutes ago, so I'm trying to breathe right now. My chest hurts a bit. Okay, so when I was 12, I was really into this show called Top Chef Junior. I think I mentioned some of this stuff before. Top Chef Junior was a show that I was really into when I was 12, and my favorite contestant on the show was named Fuller. Now, when I was 12, I was kind of obsessed with him the way I'm obsessed with These Meaners, Poop, Nano, and all of that. And he had leukemia, Fuller did, and he had leukemia. He was diagnosed at the age of 3. He had battled it 3 times before going on the show, and he even had to quit the show because he had to get better. You could even look him up, Fuller Goldsmith. Okay, sorry, I need to. In December of 2020, I got lucky enough to be able to start talking to him. Like, I decided that, hey, my 12-year-old self would love this. I'm gonna send him a friend request on Facebook, because that was all I had at the time, because, I was kind of, I was a kid. My parents didn't want me to have anything that they didn't have, and they didn't want me to expose myself any more than, I could, just one of those things where I used Facebook because it's all I really could use, because my parents had it. So I became friends with him, and we talked, and we got close, actually. I didn't think it was going to be more than a hi, thank you so much for texting, this is so cool. No, he actually started small talk, and he actually started hitting me up, like hitting on me. At one time, he was a bit horny, because, he was 17 at the time, and that's understandable, at least. I would always tell him no, because, I was 15, and I hated that stuff, and I still do. I hated that kind of stuff. I had just gotten into a lot of deep holes. I've just gotten over, like, a bunch of trauma, not really trauma, but more like, I've dealt with guys like that all throughout COVID's, like, online. This one African guy sent me his, we're not gonna get this video down. So it was not fun. But I turned him down. I told him no, I don't want those. But he said he was the thing about him that was different than the others was he was at least understanding. On December 31st, New Year's Eve of 2020, he sent me a text. We were texting back and forth, and he said that he was going to go to culinary school, and when I turned 18, he would come buy me a ticket to live with him at school. And some days I think, I'm 19, why am I not in California? I could be in California right now. The reason why is kind of sad. He started texting me less and less. It went from paragraphs to about a sentence or two, to sentence fragments, to a couple words, to one word, to some couple letters, to emojis and thumbs ups. The last interaction I got was him sending me a thumbs up emoji in June of 2021, and the last thing I've ever gotten from him was him reading a message in August of 2021. In January of 2022, I found out that Fuller had passed away in October of 2021, just about a week before he would turn 18. I was heartbroken because I felt like I let him go, because I thought that he wasn't texting me because he was getting sick of me like everyone else at the time. I thought he just didn't want anything to do with me anymore, because that's, that was the mentality I had when I was young like that. Everyone kind of got sick of me, I was very out there. I would make sure that I was always quirky. I was vibrant, bright. I would always be out there, and I like to think I still am, but at least I try to, reel it in so that I don't think like that again. So what does this have to do with now? August 28th. Hold on, let's take a drink real quick. Take another deep breath and take a drink. On August 28th, 2024, I found out that Kover from Vi's Minust is going to take part in MasterChef Estonia. Now, we found Fuller from Top Chef Junior, which is obviously a cooking show. Watching him on Top Chef Junior started my marathon of binge-watching cooking shows. I have seen the first 6 seasons of MasterChef Junior. I saw the first 3 seasons of Kids Baking Championship. It was always the kids' version of these shows because, I was 12. I could relate to them a lot more than I could with the adult ones. Kover on MasterChef. Anyway. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is Fuller telling me that, hey, you need to start watching these again. And I was optimistic for some time, and then around when MasterChef started in October, my thoughts started telling me, my brain, dreams, all sorts. This is where it's gonna sound stupid as hell, but my brain was telling me things like, you lost Fuller? Who says you won't lose Kover too? I had one of the worst dreams ever on August 23rd, which I will not get into for reasons that I don't feel comfortable talking about it, and I do not want to go into another anxiety attack. That was like the worst dream I've ever had that night. That wasn't even when I realized that this is a problem. In like November, one of my friends wrote a fanfic about Kover, which wasn't too enlightening. But so far the events in that fanfic have already happened. Of Kover winning MasterChef, Tavi taking 2nd place, and Kaylee celebrating with them. You can see that in my live stream of reacting to Kover winning MasterChef Estonia. So he won in December, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, he won! But it didn't really, the bliss didn't really last long, because this is when I started getting videos of like, if you could tell your 12-year-old self anything, what would you tell them? And then I also saw the song You'll Be Alright Kid by Alex Warren, which I think is my favorite song at this moment in time, because that's what I want to tell my 12-year-old self right now. I want to be able to go back and say, hey, just don't let go, because... And then, of course, January comes around. Vi's Minust had to release Pilates Spiritual Club exactly the same month, around the same time when I found out 3 years ago that Fuller was gone. And of course, if you saw my reaction to that video, you saw the stuff that was implied to happen to Kover in there. I still have images in my head of that, and I know, yeah, it sounds stupid. I know it sounds so dumb, but all of that happening, the fanfic realization, this video, a role play me and my friend were doing, all on top of this, the time frame that I found out 3 years ago that Fuller was gone, just sent waves in my brain. I just started rocking back and forth. I felt heavy in my bed when I laid down. I feel dizzy and lightheaded. I can't balance when I'm standing. That was the first one, and I thought the first one was the worst, but the second one I had at like 1 a.m. on Wednesday morning, and my chest was hurting, and my head was pounding. Like, I could feel my heartbeat in my head, and my chest still kind of hurts now, because I had just gotten over one, about a half hour ago, because Colbert posted on his broadcast channel on Instagram with something like, I'm gonna get things done, like a poll, someone's getting stuff done too, or something. It'll, like, he says, like, the two options were don't worry and I will get out of this. I don't understand. Maybe it's lost in translation. If I have an Estonian friend that I think I will send that to her so that she can help clear things up, because it sounds so stupid. It sounds stupid as hell, but I cannot afford to lose him for whatever reason. It's mainly because Fuller started out the same way. Fuller started out as somebody I was really into, like looked up to like that, like Colbert. And yes, I've never spoken with Colbert. Never met him. The only interaction we've had is him looking at my story in September, one of my Instagram stories in September. Didn't even heart it or anything. He just looked at it. But it's just one of those things where it sounds so dumb on paper, but in my head, it's just like, I've already had that trauma with Fuller, and I cannot go through that again. Especially knowing how... especially knowing... especially knowing how much of a figure he is in Estonia, along with the others in Viis Miinust. I am kind of scared, in a way. Like, it's very, 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 very unrealistic, because, well, for one, Fuller had a terminal illness, and there's nothing that we know of from Colbert, except for, like, his inability to Vason properly, and his appendix removed. But that's it. That's a field of daisies compared to leukemia. But it still just hurts and worries me. It really shouldn't, but it does. In the span of less than 24 hours, I wrote one of my most personal songs ever. It's called Are Lase Lahti, which is Don't Let Go in Estonian. And that's the only line in Estonian is Are Lase Lahti, because I don't really speak Estonian. I'm trying to learn, but... but, yeah, it's a kind of... like, once again, it sounds so dumb. It sounds so stupid to say, oh, you're scared of losing someone you've never actually met. It's just... it all comes back around to Fuller, I think. I don't think Fuller would want me feeling this way. He really wouldn't want me to be. But it feels like he also really wanted me to say goodbye. And I didn't, because I thought he was sick of me. I had no idea that he was dying. And it hurts, because some days I think that I would be in California had he not died, if he was still here. And I like to think that Fuller showed me Colbert. Like, Colbert was like a beacon that Fuller showed me to bring me back into that love of cooking shows, because I started watching Top Chef All-Stars as well. Season 8. Still mad about Fabio getting eliminated. I still hate that. Okay. But I think I'm gonna end the video here, because that's about all I needed to say, is that I'm struggling and panic attacks suck. But I'm telling myself that everything's gonna be okay. He's okay. He's gonna be okay. Nothing's gonna happen to him. I'm telling myself this over and over and over again because it's the truth. This is like, the chances of anything happening to him are like 0.000000001. But my brain is telling me that that's still a chance. And as much as I want to ignore it, I'm trying so hard not to think about it. My head is starting to hurt. I'm trying so hard to ignore these thoughts. Shivering. Ignore these thoughts and try and keep myself calm. Try and think about other stuff that is, better for my health, better for me. But sometimes it's just difficult, I just, it feels like I don't even want to, like, it feels like when I'm trying to calm down, I can't even think about Colbert himself, and that hurts because I don't want to, like, it's almost like, hey, you can't acknowledge his existence if you want to calm down. That's not how, no, I don't like that. I'm sharing. Is that part of it? I don't know. But that's all I'm gonna say here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you saw this far, please, I don't care what you do. Just keep into consideration. Just try not to think that I'm weird or cringe because I'm having panic attacks over someone I've never met or talked to. Believe me, I think it's stupid as well. But yeah. This is gonna be it. Thank you so much for watching this, and this is just informing you how I've been over the past couple days. So I'm trying to get better. I may take a step down from some stuff, but I'm thinking of things that I love to do, and I'm doing my own thing, and I'm staying strong. So thank you all so much, and I love you all so much. You're amazing, and if you want, you can join the Discord. I will post it in the description or the pinned comment, or actually the complete infinitely, it's the permanent, jeez, I can't even think of the right word, permanent invite is on my community tab if you want to come look at that and join the server. Thank you all so much for watching this. I love you all so much, and thank you so much for getting me this far.